All right, we're coming back from the news. It's called the Business to Business Network Show. My name is Rex Parry. I'm the host and creator of the show. And if you would like to be on our show as a guest, go to our website, 123B as in business, Z as in zebra.com, 123bz.com. All my contact information is right there. And this is a little segment that I get a chance to promote my book. We're going to have an author coming in right after this segment, so I'm going to promote my book on Amazon. It's called Stop Economic Migration by Rex Parry, Rexparry. It is basically a blueprint for helping the developing world, the countries that are struggled and have struggled for decades to find stability. And it's a hidden infrastructure that we here in the United States just take for granted. And let me describe what that infrastructure is. It starts at birth. When you get a birth certificate, that's part of the database that is created for each individual that is born. And then as you grow up, you get to go to school and you get registered and you have an infrastructure of getting vaccinated. So you have a record so you're not infecting other kids in the classroom. There's a reason for those vaccinations. There's a record for those vaccinations. And then you get education, which is part of the invisible infrastructure, where you get graduation certificates and you are able to go to college and you get more education. And that documentation, that building of your identity, it used to be all paper, but now can be digitized. And then we look in our streets and our roads. You drive down a street or a highway or a freeway. That is an invisible, you can see it, but in reality, there's a map. There's a map of the county. There's a map of the traffic. There's all kinds of different digital maps that you can look at on the internet, and you can actually drive down the street and you see a particular address, and you can put the address into the Maricopa County Assessor's Office search engine, and within a few seconds you can find out who holds title, let's say, to that house, and whether they pay their property taxes or not. That is all public record. And as we accumulate this data, you're able to connect the identity of that original birth certificate, the Social Security number, all the documentation, the driver's license. You're able to connect the identity of a human being who lives in that particular property. And by doing that, you now have a vested interest of all the people in the neighborhood that own homes and would like to have a nice, safe neighborhood, clean. And so you have homeowners associations, again, part of this invisible infrastructure that we just take for granted. And some homes are not in an HOA, but you still have opportunity to have neighborhood associations, neighborhood watch, so you can have a secure place to raise your children. Believe it or not, most of the developing world, and I'm talking about Mexico, Central and South America, I'm talking about Asia, I'm talking about Russia, I'm talking about just the majority of the world, they don't have what I just described. They don't have the surveys. They don't have the maps. They have they have roads, but there's no names to the roads. There's no addresses. There's no numbers on the house. There's no map for people to find each other. We don't know who lives where. We don't know who owns what. We don't know who's paying property taxes. In fact, a lot of these developing countries don't have property taxes because they don't have the invisible infrastructure that we have, and they don't know where to get started or what to do to get started. So my book kind of lays out how these countries can use cell phone technology, digital Google Maps, to actually do surveys using a cell phone, because Google, bless their hearts, have the longitude and latitude intersection of the whole globe. And you can actually, you can either be on site or you can actually do it from an office. And you can actually do digital mapping using, and it's rough, it's not exact, but you can actually start mapping who owns what, where, and creating this database that we already have here in the United States. That's what the book is about. It's trying to come up with solutions, trying to help people that are in the struggling countries that are surrounding us, to give them some sort of stability and infrastructure, a safe place to go to sleep at night. That's what we want. Now, if you want more information, you can go on Amazon, Google, or search REXPARRY, REXPARRY, and it's called Stop Economic Migration. So we got to help their countries succeed so that they don't need to come to our country, that they can actually experience. And it's not just the American dream, it's the human dream. Everybody wants to have a safe place to live and raise their kids. Want more information? Go to our website, 123bz.com, 123bz.com. We got to do another break here. Everybody stay tuned. We're going to be right back.